Hello, my friends. Have you been feeling the stress of the world affecting your body? Have you noticed that you're holding more tension in your shoulders, or maybe you're getting more headaches than normal, or your body is tired and worn out from day-to-day life? I mean, what I've noticed lately is that my body will take on stress, whether it's because I'm doing something different physically, changing up my routine, or all of a sudden there is just a whole new bombardment of information or stress or news or something along those lines that is difficult for me to process. My body will take on that stress and it will hold on to it for me until I do something about it, which I have to say thank you to my body for being able to take care of stuff that I can't emotionally take care of yet. But then I also have to say, well, it's time for me to really buck up and clear the emotional debris, clear the energetic crap, and get through it so that I can take care of my body and it can feel loving and healthy again. So when we are taking on physical stress, it can show up in so many different ways. It can just be a cranky lower back. It can be a head and neck ache, shoulder ache. It can be digestive issues. It can be constipation. It can be more chronic things along the lines of diabetes or cancer even. Now, if you are dealing with those things, I am not telling you to not go to the doctor, okay? This is not me doing that. This is really just about how do we care for and nourish our bodies so that we can not have them be as distracting as possible when we are on this path of waking up to our true nature and to our limitless nature. And the body will oftentimes feel as if it's restricting us, that, well, I have this condition and so I can't do that. And to a certain degree, yes. And you are also not limited as much as you think you are by the things that you're going through. So I just want you to open up your mind. We're not doing anything too crazy today, but I do want to share with you what I've been doing for my own body. I just took on a new job about a month ago and I'm on my feet for like 9 hours at a time, 2 days in a row. And it's kind of exhausting and my body is strong enough and totally able to do it. And at the same time, I need to care for this body because it's doing something new and different. So if you find yourself taking on stress, doing something new and different, then you've got to be able to take care of your body. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's just start sitting down on the floor. All I did was just move my table out of the way in my family room. That's all you really need is just a little bit of floor space. You don't even really need a yoga mat. If you have one, awesome. If not, no big deal. A stiff pillow might feel good, or a bolster or cushion might feel good to be able to sit on. But really, again, you don't need anything for this particular practice. And I just want to remind you to please listen to your body. It's very important that you do so that you can start tuning into what the body needs. And the type of asana I teach, I like to call it Shakti Asana because it is listening to and allowing the divine feminine to flow through us, which is a very creative power. And it allows us to really tap into our inner knowing and to see what our bodies are needing. So if you have questions, please feel free to post them. I will try to respond to them immediately. If I don't, I'll see them in the comments and I will post later about the answer to that question. So I hope that all of this is fantastic for you and have fun. I'm just going to share this with one of our groups here. Okay, and let's get going, guys. All right, so we're just going to start sitting down on the floor. If you have a cushion you want to put underneath your hips, it makes the body feel a lot better. So if your knees are kind of up in here, it does feel better to elevate the hips so that your hips, the top of your hip crest and your knees can be level with each other, or the knees lower than the hip crest, okay? You can sit cross-legged however it feels comfortable for you. And then let's just allow ourselves to notice the body as it is right now as we begin to breathe deeply. We're going to do about 15 minutes of asana, of yoga today. And I just want you to explore, to get to know the body, to get to know what it's asking of you. So my neck, I woke up with a stiff neck last week on Wednesday, so about 5 days ago. And there's just a little bit of remnants left. So it's nice to be able to honor that there's a little bit left. And it's also nice to say thank you for releasing most of what you've been holding on to. Maybe you need to roll the shoulders out. Maybe you need a little bit of rounding in the spine or arching of the back. Sometimes taking the hands behind can feel really good. And through all of this just little exploration, breathe. Just take some nice deep, mindful breaths. Maybe a bit of a twist. Did you hear that? That was a nice crack in the spine, nice realignment. And through all this, I'm just allowing my body to feel what it needs to feel, to flow where it needs to flow. Taking some arm movements, whatever it feels like the body needs. And then we're going to allow some exploration of the lower back and the hips. So pick a direction and allow yourself to start to twist or spin from the base of the spine, churning the spine. So we're going to round a little bit as we come up. So the chin comes down toward the chest, the belly button goes back toward the spine. And as we go forward, we extend and we expand the spine. So round and extend. And the whole neck and head flow around with this turning action. These are called stomach grinds. And again, it's important to allow the breath to flow because the breath is our vitality. The breath is our connection to energy and source. So notice how this feels in your lower back. Notice the different places where you feel the sensation more apparent than others. If you want to, as you come up to the top, really push the shoulders forward and round deeply to get that upper back to stretch, and then squeeze the shoulder blades when you come forward. So you're opening the chest even more. And then notice, we're going to stop towards the second side and just allow the opposite hand to push into that second leg and lean over and twist the shoulders down towards the leg. And this should feel really beautiful into the lumbar region, the lower back, and the upper glutes of the pelvis. Let that breath flow. And then gently come back the other direction. So we're going to lean over towards that first leg or the second leg, press into the opposite, and get a little traction here as we twist the shoulders down toward the thigh. Feel the lower back stretch out. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be working on going through the different layers of who we are, taking care of ourselves. Really starting with the physical body and this practice, next going into the energy. Next week, we'll go into the mind, the following week, and into the heart mind that next week. All right, now, remember that which direction you were going. So this was the leg that we were going towards first, and we're going to reverse the legs and reverse our spiral. Okay, so twist the legs the opposite direction or sit cross-legged the opposite direction, and we're going to start spinning the other direction. Okay, so we're stretching our spines forward and rounding and tucking as we come up. And you're going to feel a little different sensation going the second circle, the second direction. Noticing the differences, noticing the similarities, and just taking this time to breathe deep and honor it all. And this is about churning and experiencing. This is about releasing. And you can make these circles really as big or as small as you want to. And then from here, we're going to do the same kind of thing. So we start that circle towards the first leg and move towards the second leg. We're going to press into that first leg and twist the shoulders down. This is a really nice deep twist for the spine especially for the lower and middle parts of the spine. The upper spine, not so much, but it feels fantastic to release that tension that we hold on to in the middle lower back. And you should be able to feel some nice stretching happening in the hips as well as the lower back. And then we're going to go ahead and come up and go the other direction. So we're pressing into that leg that we were just over, twisting the chest and leaning down towards that thigh. And when we're leaning down, we're doing it from our hips rather than hunching and rounding from our spines. We're extending the spine, stretching it long, and twisting it over. So allow yourself to feel into this hip, feel into the leg, into the low back. Breathing deeply. Getting some traction with this leg out here. All right, and then we're just gonna let the hands come forward and do a nice little forward fold. So however far you wanna go forward, start by hinging from the hips and coming down as low as you wanna go. And if it feels good, wiggle through the hips, wiggle through the ribs and the spine, through the neck. This is how we explore, how we get to know our bodies. And I just allow the intuition to guide this practice, okay? Now from here, pick one leg and stretch it out to the side. And then make sure that your sit bones are on the floor, so move some muscles out of the way. We're just gonna start by sitting tall and walking forward, inching ourselves forward. I have not been moving as much as I used to in my younger years, and so wow, this is really tight in my hamstring and in my inner thigh. I can really feel it. And to help me loosen that up and allow my muscles to remember that they can let go, I'm just gonna encourage a little bit of exploration. Kind of like a smiley face, a little lower in the center and a little bit higher in the corners. And gently explore this straight leg out to the side. Breathing this whole time. One of the places that I really need to stretch is my kind of the hips and the lower back and this sort of middle section. And if I do all of that, then I'm going to be expanding through my heart and I'm gonna be extending through my legs. And so if I really kind of focus on this core central area, the rest of me is taken care of at the same time, okay? And from here, I'm just gonna put my hand on the inside of my leg and push into it so that I'm rotating the chest and stretch this other arm up. And maybe reach over a little bit farther into a side bend. I'm just gonna circle this arm a couple of times. Stretching it out. If you sit at a computer, this feels so good. And then from here, I'm gonna roll down and extend again, get real long and forward fold out over this leg. I can hold on to the outside of my leg this time to help rotate the other direction and come down. And then from here, I'm just gonna lift up, feel the difference. Doesn't that feel amazing? Even just take one more forward fold. Feel how much more open that is. It's still tight, you still feel that stretch, but man, does it feel nice and open now. Okay, so we're just gonna switch the sides. So we open up one leg, tuck the other one in, and we're sitting really tall, taking a forward fold. This one is tighter than the other. I love seeing how my body holds onto things differently. Being able to say, oh wow, I had no idea my left leg was tighter than my right leg. I'm just saying hello to it and treating it with love and with kindness and exploration and curiosity. And again, I'm just kind of exploring to help open it up, leaning forward, coming up in the corners like a smiley face, breathing this whole time. Just letting yourself explore the Shakti, let yourself explore the energy that exists within you. Yeah. All right. Now from here, we're gonna do the same kind of thing. We're gonna go ahead and push into the inside of the leg to twist the chest open and then reach up and over a little bit with this top arm. And just stretch out through the side body, definitely through the hamstring, Maybe you're feeling it all the way down to the calf. That's great. And then I'm just going to circle this arm a few times. Big breath in and out. In and out. And then allow yourself to come up. Big breath. With the exhale, twist down over this leg. We're going to stretch super long again and get the rib cage to rotate as far as we can toward the straight leg. And then hinge down at the hips. Feeling the twist, feeling the stretch in the hamstring. And then again, if we want to, we can pull into the outside of the leg just to rotate the ribs a little bit further toward that straight leg. Yeah. Wonderful stretch for the back side of the body. And then I'm just going to come into the center and allow myself to forward fold one more time here. Oh, and feel the difference. It's still stretching and tight, but man, look at how much farther I came down. And this is not like made up stuff, gang. This is totally my body today. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Now from here, what we're going to do is take one leg to the back and one leg forward and come up into a lunge. Okay. Now this can be a kneeling lunge or it can be a straight leg lunge. And from here, we're just going to stretch out these hips a little bit extra. And I love to have my hands on the inside of this leg. I go ahead and just do it forward for you so you can see as well. And I love to be able to flex my foot, lift my toes, and roll that hip open. It's like a pigeon, kind of like an upright pigeon. And again, play. See where the hips want to go. Maybe I'll put my foot back forward on the floor and just rotate. Just twisting feels good. If you're sitting still or you're at a desk, twisting needs to happen. If you're on your feet, twisting needs to happen because this is not something that we do a ton every single day in our daily lives. Okay. Now, if you want just a little extra for the front of your leg, the quad, bend that back leg and reach back and pull in. You can even stand up and get that leg to stretch. If that's too much on the knee, don't do it standing. Just come forward again. And then let's go ahead and release that. And all I'm going to do is just turn this around. All right, from here, I'm going to bring my hands inside that leg again. Let my hips sink forward. Get a little bit of experience here. Maybe lift the foot, lift the toes, and roll that knee out to the side. Yeah, and I love to get that nice back bend here. Woo. Opening up the hips feels so good. Open hips, happy heart. Okay, now from here, I'm gonna do that same quad stretch. I'm just gonna come up. Oh, my hamstrings are not loving that today. Oh yeah, there we go. So good. And then from there, all I'm gonna do is just turn around and take a nice child's pose. So this child's pose can be done with your knees close, your knees wide, and just allow yourself to stretch out however it feels good. And from that child's pose, a downward dog, and we are almost done, gang. I love to walk those heels up and down, stretch out through the calves, and then stretch through the chest even more by bending the knees. And just make sure that your fingers are anchored down into the floor. If there's anything else that your body is craving right now, maybe a cat and cow. Take anything else that the body needs, but I promised a 15-minute series, and there is your 15 minutes. All right, gang. I recommend taking anything else that you feel like you're needing, and then just 2 or 3 minutes in Shavasana, flat on your back, and let it all soak in. All right, this is, again, part of me building up to this amazing course that I'm going to be releasing next month called The Burnout Solution. I'm so excited about it because there are so many people like you and me who are in tune and intuitive and taking on all this energy that is wearing us out and it's burning us out. And we know that we can't cover it up with a pill. We can't, well, we could, but it's not going to work. We can't just go do talk therapy endlessly. We really need something that's deeper to the soul. And this is what we're going to be doing, radically figuring out how to love ourselves so that we can clear our crap, so that we can live embodied and vibrant and empowered and courageous. So if you are interested in that, let me know. Send me a direct message, and I will share some more information with you. But we're going to go through the body, through the energy, through the mind, through the heart mind, all the way to the bliss body, so that we can really truly figure out how we can get through this crazy shit the world's going through right now. And it doesn't matter if you're left or right, vaxxed or unvaxxed or whatever. Like, there are so many more problems than the ones that look like they're on the surface right now. And we can get through them to our souls. If we fix it here in ourselves, then we can fix it out here in the world as well. And that's really what it's all about, is finding that deeper sense of connection rather than indulging in the division and the separation, because separation is really just an illusion. And we are going to find that deeper sense of connection here first, so that out in the world, so much easier. We can love everyone, including ourselves. All right, gang, I love you. Thank you for joining me for this fabulous little asana practice. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them for me. And I hope that this felt so good for you today. Mwah, mwah, mwah.